all set to welcome Lalla. Politics and preparations speak. Ayodhya now major tourist attraction. India Today reports from Ram Janmabhoomi. Ram Mandir rises. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopa joining you from Ayodhya. As in the next 1 hour, we get you all the big headlines coming in from the city with the countdown to the Ram Mandir, focus on politics. And of course, besides that, we'll also be getting you the latest updates from the ground of how Ayodhya is prepping up for Lord Ram. I'll be getting you more on that, but here's a look at the headlines first. Congress faces backlash from within party ranks over Team Sonia declining Ram Mandir invite. BJP hits out, claims Congress's anti-Sanatan mindset exposed. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaya's big Mandir attack, says Team Sonia boycott exposed Modi's mask of Hinduism. BJP lashes out, says Congress hurting Hindu sentiments again. Disturbing revelations in the killer mother murder probe. Staff saw bloodstains on the hotel floor. Cops claim Suchana not cooperating, says mother didn't want son to meet father. BJP versus Mamata government escalates. BJP workers and Bengal cops face off in North 24 Parganas over inaction in ED team attack probe. Raksha Mantri invokes bloody nose to China, asserts India's not weak, says China perspective towards India changed after the 2020 Galwan standoff. And our top story this evening on 6 p.m. Prime is on politics that's playing out over the Ram Mandir. We're counting down to the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, which is on January 22nd. And more details are emerging on who's invited, who's attending and who's not. And the one that's made controversy since yesterday is the Congress High Command, Sonia Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, saying that they will not be attending the Pran Pratishtha ceremony because it's a BJP RSS event. And since then, there's been a whirlwind of reactions coming in. The BJP, as expected, has gone to town with this to paint the Congress as anti-Hindu. But here's what's led to further embarrassment for the Congress. The fact that there are many within the party who are criticizing the decision taken by the High Command. There are several other Congress leaders who say we've been invited, we feel it's our duty and responsibility to attend. So there's a divide in the Congress party, and more so because while the Congress says this is their strategy, there are several leaders within the party who say no, we're going to go ahead and attend this ceremony. All the details first in this report.
Ayodhya is waiting for homecoming of its most revered child. Boy God is returning to his rightful place after 500 years. But escalating political war, the Congress decided to boycott the unveiling of the Grand Ram Temple. With Sonia Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary turning down the invite, calling Ram Lalla's Pran Pratishtha a BJP event.
जहां टीवी खोलो देश में और कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ राम मंदिर ही है. चुनाव राम मंदिर मोदी पार करना चाहते हैं, बस यही उनका मकसद है. इसलिए हमें लगा कि इस निमंत्रण को स्वीकार करते हुए हाजिर रहना मुनासिब नहीं होगी.
जब धर्माचार्य करान भी नहीं रहे हैं बल्कि बहिष्कार कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसे में तो कांग्रेस को जाने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं होता. कांग्रेस ने थोड़ी कहा है कि धार्मिक कृत्य नहीं है. ये तो साधु संत कह रहे हैं।
But rejecting Ram Mandir invite has made Congress a divided house, with many openly opposing the top brass.
ये जीवन में एक ही बारी ऐसा मौका मिलता है कि इस इतिहास का हम गवाह बन सके, तो एक सनातनी होने के नाते, एक हिंदू होने के नाते और देव समाज में विश्वास रखने होने के नाते ये मेरा परम दायित्व है, मेरी जिम्मेवारी है कि मैं उस दिन वहाँ पर उपस्थित रहूँगा भी और इस इतिहास को बनते हुए जो है मैं इसका गवाह बनूंगा।
राम मंदिर बन रहा है हमारे लोगों के चंदे से, हम लोगों ने सबने चंदा दिया है और हमारी ये घोर आपत्ति है कि अपमानित किया जा रहा है हमारे शंकराचार्य जी को, हमारे रामनंदी संप्रदाय को अपमानित किया जा रहा है। विश्व हिंदू परिषद ने कौन सा ठेका ले लिया धर्म का? उनका क्या अधिकार है इस राम मंदिर पर? ये हम लोगों का पैसा है, हम लोगों का चंदा है।
The BJP hit back saying that people will boycott anti-Hindu Congress in polls for its Mandir boycott.
मैं स्पष्ट कर देना चाहता हूं, इस प्राण प्रतिष्ठा का बहिष्कार करके कांग्रेस पार्टी और कांग्रेस की परंपरा, कांग्रेस गोत्र के जितने दल हैं, उन्होंने ये स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि वो राजनीतिक दृष्टि से निष्प्राण तो होते ही जा रहे थे, अब उनकी प्रतिष्ठा भी समाप्त हो गई।
Akhilesh Yadav, Lalu Prasad, Mamata Banerjee, Uddhav Thackeray and the left have already rejected Ayodhya invite. Nitish Kumar too appeared doubtful.
धार्मिक क्षेत्रों में भी और राजनीतिक क्षेत्रों में भी प्रतिक्रियाएं आई हैं, उसी में एक कांग्रेस की प्रतिक्रिया भी शामिल है। नीतीश जी को भी निमंत्रण मिला है और अभी उनको अंतिम फैसला लेना इस पर बाकी है।
By boycotting the biggest ever faith event for Hindus, has the India bloc scored a massive self-goal? Bureau Report, India Today.
And as we get to all the reactions that come in, it's something that we will continue to track very closely here on India Today. But I want to now tell you about what's happening here in Ayodhya. I've been spending the last few days in the city, and with all of the controversy over the car sevaks, particularly the firing that happened in 1990, I decided to speak to some of them. There are scores of them who live even now in Ayodhya. Their dream of seeing a Ram Mandir in their soil, in their lifetime, is coming true. But they also, of course, live with the scars of what happened in 1990 when the then Mulayam government had authorized the firing on car sevaks. Here is my report where I also spoke to several of them.
With days to go for the Mandir Pran Pratishtha, the city of Ayodhya is gearing up for the historic moment that they've awaited for decades. And no one more than the car sevaks who fought for this very moment, for the Ram Mandir. In 1990, the then Mulayam Singh government authorized the firing on car sevaks in Ayodhya, leading to unprecedented bloodshed in the holy city. 33 years on, the wounds are still fresh, but healed by the Mandir opening.
It's in these lanes in 1990 that car sevaks were fired upon. Now, while you see all around me development now of shops that have come up, this lane is a grim reminder of what happened so many years ago. It's called Shaheed Gali, in remembrance of all of those who died in that firing that was ordered by the then Mulayam Singh government. People were in fact stranded across these lanes. Many of them ran in these directions. Many were on the rooftops, hoping to find some sort of protection, some shield from the cops who were firing at them indiscriminately.
For these car sevaks who since 1990 have been part of movements, dharnas and protests for a Ram Mandir, they are overjoyed today and believe their efforts have paid off.
आज तो हम लोग बहुत अपने आप को गौरवान्वित महसूस कर रहे हैं, खुश हो रहे हैं कि लग रहा है कि राम राज्य है। लेकिन उस समय की जो स्थिति थी, वाणी के द्वारा वर्णन नहीं किया जा सकता है। इतने भयभीत रहते थे, कांपते थे हम लोग, रोड पर निकलने में भय लगता था। ये स्थिति, हम लोग सब साथ में थे। श्रीमय नामदास छावनी है, उसी आश्रम में हम लोग काफी संत थे, तो वहाँ से हम लोग भोजन करते थे। कभी उधर बगीचा में भागते थे तो कभी उधर माझा में भागते थे। साधु महात्मा जो अयोध्या के थे, उन लोग को अपमान किया जाता था, प्रताड़ित किया जाता था। ये लोग भयभीत रहते थे, जैसे हम लोग चोरी किए, डकैती, डाका डाले, इस तरह से जैसे एक चोर भयभीत रहता है वैसे भयभीत रहते थे।
जो राम भक्त लोग आए थे वे कोई भी हाथ में अस्त्र शस्त्र नहीं लिए हुए थे। वे केवल एक शांति पूर्वक एक आंदोलन कर रहे थे और श्री राम जन्मभूमि की मांग कर रहे थे कि हम लोगों को राम जन्मभूमि तक जाने दिया जाए। पूरे प्रदेश में कर्फ्यू लगा रखा था और उन्होंने कह रखा था कि उत्तर प्रदेश में एक पक्षी परिंदा नहीं मार सकता, कोई पक्षी वहां नहीं जा सकती है। सभी मार्ग बंद कर दिए गए थे, फिर भी इतनी संख्या में लोग आए गए थे, लोगों में इतना उत्साह था श्री राम मंदिर को लेकर के कि वे घबरा गए। उसने गोली चलाने के आदेश दिया और उस आदेश से काफी नुकसान हुआ।
The car sevaks in Ayodhya have all been invited for the grand Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya on January 22nd. With Akshita Nandagopa in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
With just days to go for the grand consecration ceremony on January 22nd, there is, of course, an influx of tourists into Ayodhya. And there are a lot of questions about whether Ayodhya is really geared to become the big tourism city that the government envisions it to be. Now, if you as a tourist are looking to come to Ayodhya, what are your options really? What are your stay options? There are limited hotels in Ayodhya and most of them for the next few weeks are completely booked out. So what really are your options? Well, I also took a look at some of the facilities put in place by the government. Take a look at this report on the options if you're choosing to come to Ayodhya.
Ayodhya is becoming a massive tourist attraction. But is the city prepared for the lakhs of people expected? With hotels now charging up to 5 times more than the usual and an 80% rise in bookings, it's a challenge for authorities to ensure adequate accommodation for the lakhs of people expected on January 22nd. And that is why they have now come up with a tent city in several parts of Ayodhya. For those of you planning to come to Ayodhya and are unable to find hotel rooms, here are some options.
Now, obviously, Ayodhya is going to see a huge influx of tourists from across India, across the world for the next few months. And if you're wondering, how do I make it to Ayodhya without a hotel booking? And you're thinking that, there's no premium hotel that's really come up in Ayodhya. What do I do? The government has ensured a solution for you. You can even go ahead and glamp in Ayodhya because these kind of deluxe tents have now been put up very, very close to the city, very close to the temple.
With 50 such tents put up in one area, authorities are ensuring premium facilities are available as well.
So these are tents which are essentially meant for 2 people to live in. You can see that there's adequate bedding provided here. A very cozy feeling that you get. You've got quilts considering it's winter. There's an air conditioner / heater based on what you need it to do. And the setup, because it's going to be there for the next 3 months, it's also expected to get a bit hot in Ayodhya. So this is going to be very, very helpful.
These premium tents, which will be available at a cost but on a booking basis and will be there for another 3 months to deal with the expected rush to visit Ram Mandir for the next few months. But besides visitors who will be staying in hotels, there is also expected to be a huge influx of saints and sadhus. And this too the government has kept in mind.
Now, what you see here is a dormitory of sort that's been set up by the government to ensure that people who come into Ayodhya and with hotels completely full don't run out of place to sleep. So this is set up by the government. As you can see, beds have been put up. You've got pillows. You've got 3 quilts because it's winter. They've ensured that they've provided that facility as well. There's drinking water. There's power available. And in this very ground that I'm in, it can accommodate over 2,000 people. There are 2,500 beds in this facility alone.
Hostels or dormitory-like setups have also been made with a capacity to shelter nearly 5,000 people in all. With unprecedented footfall expected in the coming days in Ayodhya, authorities are now ensuring that people are providing all possible facilities for a memorable Ayodhya visit. With Akshita Nandagopa in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, as we get closer to January 22nd, there's of course a lot of curiosity of what the temple will look like, a lot of curiosity of what the Ram Lalla idol looks like. I spoke to a tailor here in Ayodhya, the man who's been stitching the clothes for the Ram Lalla idol in the current Mandir and will be doing so for the new idol as well. And he gives us a glimpse of what Ram Lalla could be wearing on the big consecration day. आप ही बनाते हैं, सिलते हैं कपड़े?
1985 से हमारे श्री पिता श्री बाबूलाल श्रीवास्तव और भगवत प्रसाद श्रीवास्तव हमारे बड़े भाई साहब हैं और मैं शंकर लाल श्रीवास्तव। उस समय सन 85 में लालदास जी पुजारी थे, उनके माध्यम से हमारी एक बड़ी मशीन ये और एक छोटी मशीन ये वहाँ विवादित ढांचे के नीचे रखी जाती थी, यानी गुम्बद के नीचे 2 मशीन वहाँ रखी जाती। पिताजी अमनिया करते थे और हम दोनों भाई बैठ के वहाँ चलते रहे। ये कर्म सन 92 तक चला। जब ढांचा गिरा तब से हम लोग पुजारी जी के माध्यम से ही आ रहा है और यहीं से हम लोग पोशाक सिल के दे रहे हैं।
कितना दिन लगता है एक ऐसे कपड़े सिलाने में राम लल्ला के लिए?
एक सेट पोशाक सिलने के लिए हमको 48 घंटे का समय मिलता है, तो हम 48 घंटे में ठाकुर जी का हम बना के तैयार कर देते हैं।
अभी जो नए मंदिर में नया मूर्ति होगा, तो नए मंदिर में क्या आप ही सिलाएंगे?
4 इंच की मूर्ति है। वहाँ जो हम लोग ट्रस्ट के तरफ ट्रस्ट से बुलावा हुआ था, हम लोग गए थे नापने के लिए, बड़े भाई साहब हमारे गए नापे और 51 इंच की वो मूर्ति है। वो इसी प्रकार इतना ही लंबाई चौड़ाई का ठाकुर जी का पोशाक बनेगा और स्थापना वाले दिन पहनाया जाएगा। लेकिन स्थापना वाले दिन जो पड़ रहा है, सोमवार पड़ रहा है, तो सोमवार को हमारे प्रभु सफेद कपड़ा धारण करते हैं। तो अब सफेद धारण करते हैं, लेकिन स्थापना है, शुभ काम में हमारे यहाँ पीला वस्त्र धारण किया जाता है।
तो अभी इसके बाद आपने काम शुरू कर लिया नया मूर्ति के लिए?
जब तक अभी हमें ट्रस्ट कपड़ा नहीं देगी, अभी कपड़ा तो वहाँ डिस्कस हो रहा है कौन सा कपड़ा दिया जाए जो बढ़िया से बढ़िया लगे। जैसे अगले जब प्रधानमंत्री जी आए थे तो उसमें नवरत्न जला गया था, और अब अगर ठाकुर जी के लिए पोशाक बनेगा तो हो सकता है उसमें हीरा भी जला जाए। अगर मुझे ट्रस्ट हीरा पन्ना पोखराज देती है तो वो भी हम जलेंगे कि जिससे हमारे ठाकुर जी पहने और शोभायमान लगे, कि जो देखे तो देखता ही रह जाए।
तो 2 मूर्ति होंगे, एक तो नया रामलला की मूर्ति होंगे, दूसरा जो आप इतने सालों से सिला दिया, तो उनके लिए
वो जो भी बनेगा एक सेट कप, जैसे हरा बना, पीला बना, सफेद बना, लाल बना, साथ में 7 रंग का जो भी बनता है सबका एक सेट एक कलर का। हमारे यहाँ चाहे किसी भी मंदिर में देखिए, अगर जो कपड़ा राम जी पहनेंगे, लखन लाल जी पहनेंगे, हनुमान जी, शालिग्राम जो भी है, जितने मूर्ति है वहाँ सब एक कलर में, पर्दा बिछौना सब एक कलर में होगा। तो जो हमारे बड़े सरकार हैं, इनका अगर बनेगा लाल तो सबका लाल, पीला अगर बनेगा तो सबका पीला बनेगा। मतलब एक सेट जो भी बनेगा एक ही डिजाइन, एक ही कलर का, कलर एक होगा।
Now, interestingly, in the city of Ayodhya, as part of the January 22nd preparations, and even before that, there's a massive setup for 1008 Havan Kunds. Now, 1008 fires will be lit at the same time, Havans will be lit at the same time. You're going to have pundits all chanting together. So it's going to be, of course, a lot of energy that reverberates in that area. Why 1008? What's the significance of this kind of a Maha Havan that's being organized in Ayodhya? I tell you in this report. As part of the consecration ceremony that will be happening at the Ram Mandir, just a few kilometers away, at this grand venue that you see behind me, the Prime Minister will be making a stop. This is where 1,000 Havans will be lit. It's a Havan Kund that's been set up here with 1,000 Havan Kunds essentially all inside this venue. show you what the Havan Kund looks like. It's absolutely spectacular, and you can only imagine the kind of energy that will reverberate from this location when you'll have 1,000 priests, saints all coming together, chanting together, and of course having that Havan going. Prime Minister Modi will be here on 22nd January and then make his way to the Mandir. So let's show you what the Havan Kund looks like.
An elaborate consecration ceremony that will see the city of Ayodhya transformed like never before. And as part of the Pran Pratishta ceremony, 1,000 priests will take part in a Havan ceremony. Prime Minister Modi will make a stopover at this venue before making his way to the Mandir and take in the chants and the energy.
Just a few kilometers away from the Ram Mandir, you'll have the Prime Minister making a stop here in these grounds, which has 1,008 Havan Kunds like this one. It's tied with a sacred thread, this red cloth placed on top to show really how auspicious this is. And what I'm entering is the Nav Kund. Now, 1,008 Havan Kunds are there, and I'm sure you're wondering what's with that number. Interestingly, when the Prime Minister comes here, you're going to be seeing over 1,000 priests all chanting at the same time, all of them, of course, with that fire lit. So you can imagine the amount of energy that will essentially reverberate from this ground. Preparations, as you can see around me, are still underway. But let me put some of those questions forward about the significance of this moment and also why 1,008. I have with me Pandit Bhim Shastri ji. Namaste, Pandit ji. Jai Shri Ram. आप पहले हमको ये बताइए कि जहाँ हम अभी खड़े हैं, ये नव कुंड है, इसका मतलब क्या है?
1,008 कुंड इसलिए है कि 1.25 करोड़ आवतियां लगेगी, तो 1-2 कुंड में तो संभव नहीं है इतनी आवतियां, इसलिए 1,008 कुंड का जो संकल्प है जगत गुरु जी का, इसलिए वो 1,008 कुंड है। और इस यज्ञ के जो आचार्य है वो हमारे गुरुदेव राजस्थान से डॉक्टर बालकृष्ण जी कोसिंग होंगे।
Pandits are hard at work here, securing all preps in line with traditions, as bricks with hues of red and yellow are being put across the Havan.
कुंड के पास में प्रणिता और प्रोक्षणी 2 पात्र होते हैं हवन में, उसको रखने के लिए, और हवन कुंड के पास में ब्रह्मा का स्थान होता है, तो ये ब्रह्मा के लिए आसन तैयार हो रहे हैं।
Devout Babas have come from far and wide to be part of the consecration ceremony. This yagya in the name of Lord Hanuman will echo across Ayodhya.
22 तारीख को जब श्री राम लला अपने सिंहासन पे विराजमान होंगे, मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं, अभी आप जैसे पूछ रहे हैं तो एकदम मन और आंखें भर रही हैं, मन अजीब हो रहा है बोलते बोलते, और खुशी में मतलब ऐसे आंखें डबडबा रही हैं बहुत। मैं कहता हूं पूरे भारतवर्ष में ही नहीं, पूरे विश्व में ये सब दशा सबकी हो रही है। कब हम उस घड़ी का फल का इंतजार जो 500 वर्षों से था, वास्तव में कितने हमारे पूर्वज, कितने हमारे बुजुर्ग, कितने हमारे नातेदार, रिश्तेदार कई बार आए, कई बार उनके शरीर छूटे होंगे, और उसके बाद आज हम सब लोगों को सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ है।
This Havan Kund with the 1,008 fires will be a historic one, and like no other the country or world has seen. With Akshita Nandagopa in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, what I've been noticing a lot here in Ayodhya in the last few days is that there are people from across the country who are already coming down, particularly from the south. There are people from Andhra Pradesh, from Tamil Nadu, from Karnataka, who constantly flock here. I've been speaking to several of them, and they say that for the last many years we've been coming here, and of course we have more reason to come as well. So here's the story of a man who's coming all the way from Hyderabad to Ayodhya on a padayatra to express his devotion to Lord Ram, and he comes bearing gifts.
जन्म जन्म की खोज बताए, राम से चल के राम पे आए। सिया राम, सिया राम जय जय राम, सिया राम, सिया राम जय जय।
Challa Srinivas Shastri has begun his 7,200 kilometer long Padyatra. This 64-year-old Ram Bhakt will walk all the way from Hyderabad to Ayodhya to gift Lord Ram these gold Charan Padukas. The Padukas weigh around 9 kilograms. Shastri carries these Padukas on his head while he makes his way to the Ram Nagari.
अभी राम जी का अयोध्या में कोर्ट तीर्प आने के बाद मैं कुछ तो मेरे वजह से कुछ तो करना बोल के एक ईट चांदनी का ईट 2 किलो का चांदनी का ईट बना के लेके कलेक्टर साहब को दे दिया। बाद में और 4 मांगा, वो 4 भी दे दिया, 5 ईट दे दिया उधर शिलान्यास में। बाद में ये कुछ तो राम जी को कुछ तो करना बोल के 10,000 लड्डू बन के उधर बांट रहा हूँ रोज। 3 साल हो गया। अभी भोजन भी दे रहा हूँ साउथ इंडिया से आने वालों को।
These Padukas are worth 65 lakh rupees. Shastri is retracing the Ayodhya Rameshwaram route, mirroring Lord Ram's Vanvas in reverse. He aims to reach Ayodhya by the much-awaited Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Meanwhile, a 2,100 kilo bell has been handed over to the Ram Mandir Trust. More than 400 workers in Uttar Pradesh's Etah took 1 year to make this special bell for Ram Lalla's Ayodhya Mandir.
ये सबसे बड़े गौरव की बात है कि 550 साल बाद हमारी पीढ़ी जो है इस मंदिर को बनते हुए देख रही है। और ये जलेसर और जिला हमारे एटा के लिए सौभाग्य की बात है कि हम लोग जलेसर से घंटा बना करके भगवान राम के चरणों में अर्पित करने का हमें सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ है। ये जलेसर और हमारे जिले दोनों के लिए गौरव की बात है। ये 2100 किलो का सिंगल पीस मोल्डेड घंटा है जिसमें कोई जॉइंट नहीं है किसी भी प्रकार का। ये अष्टधातु का बना हुआ घंटा है।
With only days left for the Pran Pratishtha, preparations in Ayodhya to welcome Ram Lalla are in full swing.
And that's all we have time for on this broadcast. As I slip into a short break, we'll continue, of course, getting you all the updates from Ayodhya. But it's been a fabulous 4 days for me. I'll be heading back to the studios come tomorrow. But here on India Today, we'll continue tracking what's happening here in the beautiful city of Ayodhya as it gears up for the January 22nd Pran Pratishtha ceremony.